Hello and welcome to this stimulus package update on a Sunday. On yesterday's video, I asked you guys to ask questions in the comments and I would address and respond to the most highly upvoted questions. So I'll be doing that in today's video, as well as some updated numbers with the EIDL grant program, the Paycheck Protection Program, and cover some IRS guidance that they put on their website that I thought would be helpful to do at the end. So starting with business funding. As of today, of 23,000 businesses that have been polled on covidloantracker.com, we're at 10% of businesses have been funded through the EIDL grant program. Now this is up from 9.8% yesterday. It's an increase, it's not much of an increase, but at least we're seeing some progress there. I'm gonna go over this real quickly. As of today, again, March 26th, 8.8% of businesses who have applied through the Paycheck Protection Program have received funding. This is up from 8.7% yesterday. So again, another really small increase. However, 0.1% equals thousands of businesses who have received funding and can potentially keep the doors open. So even 0.1% increase excites me because I'm happy that that means more businesses are going to be able to stay open. And I expect both of these programs to have a huge jump in number this week now that we have more funding coming out. So I'm really excited about that as well. And if you're already not aware, tomorrow is the first day you can apply for the Paycheck Protection Program again if you haven't already. So make sure you do that if you own a small business and you're in a position where you need some additional funding. So on to your questions. Matthew B asks, my 2019 tax return is still processing. Will I get my stimulus check before that is done processing? It's very unlikely that you'll receive your stimulus payment before your 2019 taxes are done processing. This is one of the major reasons why people have not received their stimulus payment yet, and you just gotta wait in that case for it to be completely processed. That's one of the reasons up on their website why you may not have received your payment. If it's still processing, which you can check in their app, then you probably have not received your payment yet. And once it's done, you'll receive your payment. On to the next question. Tiffany Nicole asks, what about H&R Block people? When will we get our check if we have the Emerald card direct deposit? So this one is kind of, I don't have a great answer, unfortunately. It's complicated. There's kind of some nuances here. If you did not receive in advance or have fees taken out of your direct deposit card, it seems like you probably already received your stimulus payment. You're probably not here. If you did get that advance or fees taken out of your Emerald card, this counts for all those other like Intuit cards. I know there's like 10 different ones. This counts for all those cards. If you did have those fees taken out, in this case, it seems like the funds in your case went to a temporary account for your regular tax return. And in this case, the stimulus payment is attempted to be sent to your temporary account, which there's nothing behind, and then the payment gets returned. However, the IRS has not released any official guidance on what happens next in that case for those direct deposit debit card holders. I can make an assumption as to what will happen because based off of people who have the wrong bank information for their direct deposit, what happens in that case is the payment gets sent back to the IRS and then the IRS is going to mail you a check. They have released guidance on that specifically, but they have not for these debit card holders. So I don't want to say 100% that that will happen. However, that is a similar situation and that happened for them. Now I know this is a major issue and I'm going to keep my eyes peeled on this, and if I do find anything regarding what will happen, I searched for like 45 minutes this morning to see if I could find anything. There's just a lot of hearsay, so once I find anything officially, I will update you guys officially on that as well. Unfortunately, that's all I can find as of today. So moving on to the next question, Jamie Wheeler asks, is there any help for small farmers? And yes, there is. Some of you guys were nice enough to reply to this guy, but I figured I would address it again real quick too. You can apply for the EIDL grant once that portal opens back up. There's no official start date as to when it will open back up, but after they go through the current applications, that'll be open again. You also can apply for the Paycheck Protection Program. However, with this, it does require some more documentation, some more proof, but I would recommend applying for both. On to the next question. Dragsfire302 asks, can a Twitch streamer apply for the EIDL? Well, yes, you can. I guess that's considered a small business. However, this disaster relief program is supposed to be for people or businesses whose income was severely disrupted from COVID. If yours has been disrupted from COVID, then yeah, definitely apply. If it hasn't, that's up to you on if you feel like you should apply or not. My issue with it is there are many people applying for these programs that don't necessarily need the money, or their businesses weren't really impacted. And what happens is that bogs up the system and takes away funds from people who really do need the funds. So that's up to you if you want to apply. I'm not going to say whether you should or shouldn't exactly, but you can apply. The next question, You and Me asked, there are still a lot of us who have been shorted money on our stimulus check. What is the IRS going to do to fix this? Well, the IRS stated that you'll be receiving a letter within 15 days of receiving your stimulus payment. On this letter, it'll give you some information on what you can do to tell the IRS, hey, my payment was smaller than it should have been. My dependent wasn't on here. Whatever your issues are, they're going to give you a way to reach out to them and say, hey, it was incorrect. So it will be solved. And worst case scenario, it's not like if you can't get in contact with them, I'm saying very worst case scenario, on your taxes for 2020, you will still have that credit there if for whatever reason you can't get it figured out until then. I know the payments, it's urgent to get that money now, but worst case, you'll still get that money eventually. I'll continue to answer your guys' top voted questions. If you enjoy this, feel free to ask questions below, and the most upvoted questions I will address in future videos. So the IRS released some more clarifications and guidance on the non-filers tool and that Get My Payment portal that I thought would be valuable to cover. And as a side note here, I've been notified from multiple people that there seems to have been some kind of major update on the Get My Payment tool over the night last night. As of this morning, many people either have an updated status or they are able to add information on that tool. So if you're one of those people who's been checking every single day and there was no update to it whatsoever, today might be the day to just check and make sure that the status has changed, or if you can add information, because it seems like a lot of people are now eligible too. So I'm going to go over this real quick. It's this graph that they put up on their website. You can check it out. I'll have it linked in the description if you'd rather look at it there. I'm going to go over it real quickly. So it just has scenarios, which tool to use, what to expect. So if you're required to file a federal income tax return for 2019 or 2018 and you filed a return with direct deposit information, do not use the non-filers tool, and you can track the status on the Get My Payment tool. So it's just kind of scenarios like that. There's about 6 of them. So I'll go over them real quick here. So the next question is, if you're required to file a federal tax return for 2018 or 2019, and you filed a return for 2018 or 2019 with direct deposit information, but your information is not correct or accurate, should you use the non-filers tool? No, you should not. It will generally go to whatever account you used on that return, but if the account is no longer active, the IRS will automatically mail you your payment instead of direct deposit. And they have a note. The Get My Payment tool cannot update bank account information after an economic impact payment has been scheduled for delivery. And to help against fraud, the tool does not allow people to change bank account information already on file with the IRS. So I know that counts for many of you who have your information. It was wrong. Looks like you're likely to get mailed a check. So you filed a tax return for 2019 or 2018, but you owed tax or didn't choose direct deposit. Do not use the non-filers tool, they say. You can use the Get My Payment tool to check your status, and you can also add direct deposit information in if you haven't already, but you probably already know that. So you have not filed a tax return either for 2018 or 2019, but expect to receive a tax refund. Do not use the non-filers tool. Choosing direct deposit for a faster refund is basically the way to go. And if the tool does not offer you, the Get My Payment tool does not offer you the option to provide your deposit information, it means the IRS will mail your economic impact payment. So moving on to the next one. If you have not filed a tax return either for 2019 or 2018 and you expect to owe tax on your returns, do not use the non-filers tool. It says file your 2019 federal tax return. Your economic impact payment will not be reduced if you owe tax, and filing electronically is the quickest way. And also for this case, This tool, if it does not offer you direct deposit account information, that means your payment will be mailed. Many people are just getting defaulted to your payment is mailed. All right, there's two more situations here. If you are not required to file a tax or income return for 2018 or 2019, but you receive Social Security, SSDI, SSI, veterans benefits, or railroad retirement benefits, do not use the non-filers tool unless you have a dependent under 17 years old, then use the non-filers tool, and you can use the Get My Payment tool to track your status. If you're not required to file a tax income return and do not receive Social Security, SSDI, SSI, railroad retirement, veterans benefits, you can use the non-filers tool. You have to actually use the non-filers tool, otherwise the IRS will have no information on you and you will not get your payment. And you can also use the Get My Payment tool once you have filled out that non-filers tool. So that's all I have for today. Like I said, if you guys have more questions, feel free to ask them below and I'll address them in future videos. And also, please consider subscribing. I looked at the statistics for my channel and only about 7% of the people who view my videos are actually subscribed. So just subscribe to the darn channel. It's free. I'm helping people out. Come on. Until next time, thank you for watching and I hope you have a profitable day.